The X5M is overkill. The M60i is actually the sweet spot for the X5. I'll include a link to the BMW Murray's website in the description down below that's providing us with this X5. Let's get right into it. This week's giveaway highlight is a super low mileage manual Ford GT. If you're interested, use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. This will give you 4x bonus entries on any donation, $25 or more. Under the hood is a twin turbo 4.4 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed, fuel economy 17 around town, 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 523 horsepower and then 553 pound-feet of torque. We're closing in on 500,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Just got some sharp lines there on the hood. Love the headlight design. It's like the perfect touch of aggression, I think. Reasonably sized kidney grille with the X5. That's one of the reasons why I like the X5 compared to the other SUVs. So altogether, it's probably the best looking BMW SUV right now. 275 by 35 by 22 is the tire and wheel setup up front. The wheel's completely blacked out. You get a nice red brake caliper too. Here's kind of a closer look at that caliper. Some venting on the side with the M badge, blacked out mirror caps with this. 315 by 30 by 22 for the tire and wheel setup in the back, by the way. And then here is your side profile. Again, with the X5, it's not like mega boxy, but it's a little bit boxier. Now when it comes to key fob features, we have a remote start built into the lock function. Cool M colors there. You have the opening for the hatch and the unlock on the side. Cargo cover built in from the factory, and it looks like we got a little 12 volt here in the back. But yes, the X5 is very spacious in the rear. And then not only do the seats fold down flat, but we have a tailgate. That's one of the things that makes the X5 cooler compared to a lot of other SUVs. And it is all automatic, so it closes together. Very sharp looking taillight design there. The camera doesn't want to focus on it. M60 badge, and then let's get you guys a little exhaust clip. That will cap things off for the exterior. Let's now check out the That's unlocked. What the heck? BMW's auto lock feature is so annoying. Anyways, we've got the sunshade here, nice soft touch. Got some carbon fiber trim there with a nice speaker too. And look at these seats. It's pretty fancy with the design. Legroom back here is great. Got a little storage pocket there, some USB ports. And then you can see we've got vents, heated seats, got our own climate zone too. There's more USB ports at the bottom. And then headroom back here is actually pretty darn good. Keyless entry for up front, and let's check it out. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. We've got more memory seats up front, massage seats too with this one. The mirrors power fold in. Really nice trim there on the door panel. And then the seats are perforated all down the center. You do have your adjustments there on the side lumbar support, adjustment for the bolsters. And the front passenger has more of the same. Well, let's fire it up. Of course, we've got stitching around the airbag cover because it's a fancy car, right? M logo at the bottom, paddles on the back. You have your cruise control there on the left side. Regular stocks on the back too. Digital gauge cluster in the center, and that means that you can have a little change with the drive modes. Gives it a fun little animation. 360 camera system, it's got good resolution. And then as for the infotainment system, this is BMW's new unit they have in all of their cars. I think it's pretty quick to, or I shouldn't say all their cars, but like most of the cars, it's pretty quick to respond. Climate controls are built into the screen, but they're always accessible at the bottom. Same thing with this little shortcut bar. So it's one of the better units. You do still get some physical controls for like the volume, for example, defroster too. And I do like this trim that goes across the dash, and there's more soft touch at the top. Got a little USB port there, phone charging pad, carbon fiber trim in this whole area. And then there are some physical controls like this for the infotainment system. Got your shifter, stability, parking sensors, drive modes in that area. And there's a little center console behind it, the USB port. The trim in this is kind of synthetic feeling. That is one thing to note. Anywho, we do have a fancy headliner and then a panoramic sunroof. 2026 X5 M60i, $114,770. Let's see how this BMW performs. An interesting choice by BMW, not using acoustic windows. So there can be like an acoustic laminate that some manufacturers will put, and a lot of luxury manufacturers will have that on the windows. That'll help out some. But that versus having a double paned window, there's a big difference. There just is. So I find it interesting at well over $100,000. It's all these German brands. cheaping out on the windows. And you know, maybe it's because they're like, yeah, we need the windows to be like this so you can hear the engine, and it's like, well, you got a lot of turbos now and hybrids, so there's not as much noise as there used to be. Like, this is still a V8, right? 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, but you know, the turbos muffle things. But the noise you do get is pretty nice. Now, it is still pretty insulated, but you are going to get a little bit more noise than you would otherwise. These stocks that BMW use feel like overly cheap. They're very plasticky. But man, do they make good engines. Something that I keep coming to time and time again is the conclusion that BMW should just like go all in on the engine business, because they make better engines than pretty much anyone else, right? In terms of turbo engines, like their V8, it's not perfect by any means. It does have some reliability quirks, but you know, it's pretty darn efficient for a V8, and it's got great power. And then, you know, you look at the B58 inline 6, and that thing is mega reliable and great power. So, you know, just food for thought, I suppose. Yeah, this is nice. The suspension's comfortable. For having such big wheels, it's pretty darn comfortable. Pop it into the sport mode. See how that changes things. And the seats are very comfortable too. BMW does a good job with their seats. Oh, there's an extra sport mode, Sport Plus. We'll do that. I think it's funny that automakers are like, we gotta have like a mega sport mode. Man, that's got power. Smooth too. Very smooth. Oh, you got the popples too. So much power. It's beautiful. Beautiful powertrain. So yeah, this is still the X5 sweet spot. You get the power, you get the luxury, you get the looks. Not nearly as expensive as an M car. The M Sport, that's the way to go with BMW. Because the M cars are just too firm, too stiff. And the inline 6 X5 is fantastic. I think it's a fantastic car. Just for those you looking for performance, that's where the V8 gets exciting, right? But yeah, I think the X5 with the inline 6 has gotten more than enough performance. If you don't need the V8 performance, super solid. Those are the two X5s that I would look at. I wouldn't even look at any of the other ones, to be honest. Just the B58 X5 and then this V8 M Sport, the M60i. Those are the two X5s that I would personally look into. Everything else is just too, you know, the X5 and the M and the M competition is too expensive. Too expensive. So, that's all.